What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to our Thursday night live stream. We'll get into why this is all different in just a minute because we're going to unbox that guitar right there. Before we get into it and take questions and stuff, what this really is a Q&A session where we talk about guitar stuff. If you have guitar questions, put them in the little chat thing right over here. I'm backwards tonight. And we will we'll answer those questions about guitar stuff. You have to put a bunch of question marks in front of it so Leslie can catch it. And we will get to those questions. We do have some from Patreon that we will do first. And then we'll get to yours. If you use a super chat, we'll drop what we're doing and we'll answer that question right away. I would like to thank my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. And everybody uses super chats and all that kind of stuff because that is what really keeps us rolling on this here YouTube channel. A couple of things that I wanted to tell you before we get into the unboxing of the new guitar is I made a separate parts listing, and in fact it's on the front page of the website, for a separate model. We talked about the greenie mod that we can do to our DAFs, but I changed it up to more mimic the actual greenies that are in the Gibson greenies. So they're their own model now. So you can go to DylanTalksTone.com, look on the front page, and you can order your own face flip greenie pickups. So those are there. I figured since Gibson released theirs that I might as well. Instead of making it a click down option, I figured something that you could go and click on and just get. What else? We have a really cool thing happening on Monday. If you are, well, I'm just going to tell you what it is. We have a 10th anniversary pickup coming out on Monday. If you are a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber, you can buy them early, or you can pre-order them early. I will tell you there's only 20 sets and they're almost half gone. So if you want to do that, you can hit the patreon.com/DylanTalksTone and subscribe to that stuff and find it right now. Or you can just wait until Monday and take your chance. We'll have a special video about that and everything. So one of the things we like to do on this channel is when I get a new guitar, I like to unbox it live. Because that takes out the you got a special one or whatever. Or, if there's a problem with it, we can't, fix it ahead of time if we just unbox it live. So, this is a Gibson. I asked for this guitar. I actually called Gibson and said, Gibson, can you send me one of these? And they said, we will let you borrow one. So, I have to give this back when I'm done. But I think it's really exciting because it's their entry-level Les Paul. And when this came out, I was like, this is something that I want to see for myself. So I'm going to go ahead. And if people have questions about this guitar while we're doing this, if you could just yell them out to me, that would be awesome. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. We'll play through it a little bit. Knife of the unboxing is the Ultratech UTX 85. Out the front. Well, I wonder if this is a guitar that has been used or if this is a guitar that's new. I don't know. Because I don't know how they do their press guitars. If that makes sense. I'm not sure. Well, it's been opened before. Maybe I just suck at opening boxes. Guess we'll see if the peg head's on it. All right. Oh, I think I have to do that one more time.
Very loud.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, wow. So, I would not expect a $1,500 Les Paul to come with a hard shell case. However, yeah, this must be a press guitar.
Rob F says, Dylan, is this your first press guitar from a manufacturer?
No, it's not. We've gotten stuff before. This is my first guitar from Gibson, though. They've sent me pedals, but they've never sent me a guitar. This case is really nice. For all of you who are hoping that the peg head was going to be broken when I got it, it's not. It's still on the guitar. Wow, this is cool, actually. Okay, so it's very light. It's, I would say, 6 pounds. It is definitely a demo guitar. Somebody has been playing it. So it is, and this is one of the things Chris Fesker at Texas Toast wanted to know, is the open grain on the back of the neck. So it has, you can actually see the grain in the back of the neck, as opposed to like my SG Junior up there that it's totally smooth. So it's a kind of a shrunken, rough finish. When we do the video on it, I will show you up close. It is not heavy. It is very thin, like very thin, in comparison to a regular Les Paul. It's got a, I'd have to feel the Junior, but I think the Junior has a little bit wider neck.
Is that gold?
This is the gold one, yeah. So there's a bunch of different colors, and he said, what color do you want? And I was like, I don't really care. I just want one of these things because I want to try it. But if I could have a choice, I would have pink, but they didn't have pink. So it looks like it's a 2-piece body because you can see the grain split right there. It does have a nice body carve too. It's got the nice lip going around the outside, which is really cool. All right, let me tune it up. And we'll play through it really quick and hear what it sounds like. And yeah.
Are we switching when?
I'll tell you when.
Okay.
How about it was in tune already? Let's talk quality control since everybody's going to want to ask. It's good. It's good. The setup on it is good. Action's nice and low.
Rusty Shackelford said, is it satin finish, faded? All Gibson faded are sans pour. Where did that comment go? Oh, sans pour fill, so you can feel the grain. At least my Les Paul faded is that way.
It's not done like a faded. This is a different finish, but I know what you're talking about. But this is done, yes, there's no pour filler, so you can see the grain in the wood, for sure.
Benny's World said, that looks even thinner than a tribute.
Oh, it's way thinner than a tribute. Yeah, absolutely. Let me grab a pick. We're doing this all out of like whack for like where we normally sit and all that stuff. So
Does it look like it has short shaft pots?
Yes.
Do we know what pickups are in it?
We could look up the pickup specs on Sweetwater, but or on Gibson. Here, let's do it really quick. I can't remember. I looked at it earlier and I forgot when I was in the process of putting this together today. Let's see. This is...
Can we get a good look at the headstock?
Sure.
How heavy is that guitar?
It's, here's a picture of the headstock, or a video of the headstock. It's all gold, so it's painted all one color. It does not have the black headstock, which would make sense because that's keeping it to a price, you know, because you're trying to keep the cost down on it. What was the other question? Oh, it's got Grover tuners, which is cool. My butt dyno says 7 pounds. But I'll weigh it for the video when we do a video on the thing. All right, go ahead and mute the camera and give me some sound. Cool. It's really cool. I need to look up what the pickups are in it, and I would adjust them a little bit differently probably, but it's great. The bridge tailpiece needs to be raised up because the strings are like over the back of the bridge, so you need to raise the tailpiece up. It's interesting. It's got this little belly carve in it right here, which is not Les Paul at all, but it's cool. The heel of it is kind of smaller, I guess. Well, the whole thing's just so thin that it's just a really neat guitar. Yeah, this is a cool instrument. $1,500. $1,500. But I think
What's the fretboard?
rosewood.
Okay. Somebody asked that earlier.
Yep. Brown. The frets are like junior, kind of small. They're not big frets. Gibson does that though. Looks like you can take the pickguard off and then have it clean, which would be cool. No, it's a great guitar. So there you go. There's the unboxing. It came with the peg head attached. It came with a really nice gig bag. It's all the things they say it is. The only thing that personally I like, if you go get like a Texas Toast Challenger Level 1, the neck would be a maple neck, so it would be super smooth. Would be the only thing that I would say that I would like better, is because I don't like this open grain. It's not bad. But it's just definitely not what I'm used to, I guess. But it's cool. And one thing I will say is this is not, yeah, okay, so it's a Les Paul, but it's not it feels totally different because it's so thin that you will play the guitar differently. This thing is way more punk rock than a regular Les Paul because it's just so thin and you hold it different. Because the neck angle feels different because the body is thinner, even though it's not different. It just kind of sits on you differently. So yeah, it's really cool though.
Somebody asked, they must have missed the tuners.
Grovers. Yep, they're Grovers.
And is it thinner than an SG?
No, maybe. When I do the full video on this guitar, I will measure it because I have an SG. So I will measure it. But I would say it's in competition with, at the edges, it's in competition with an SG. However, because the top is still arched, so this is not a flat top like a special. See that? It's got a proper top carve, which is really cool. But it just feels flatter and thinner and lighter. Yeah.
Do you think this will be the new direction Gibson takes to run a thinner line?
No, I think they're going to do everything that they always do, but I think they're going to try to figure out a way to make a sub $2,000 guitar with Gibson on the peghead. And that's what this is.
Does it feel SG-like?
Yes. It's literally like a cross between an SG and a Les Paul. Mm-hmm. Yep. An SG does not feel like this, though, if that makes sense. This feels more like an SG, but if you played an SG, it would not feel at all like this. Okay.
Does Epiphone make this model as well?
No. They do not. Nope, they do not. And this one's made in the United States of America.
Do you know what other colors it comes in?
There's a bunch. Pink and green, and there's a bunch of colors, but they're all kind of this satiny, metallic-y, minty sort of like sweet tart kind of colors, you know? Yeah, because it's modern light, so it's not going to come in, you know, proper tobacco sunburst. This is a guitar that they're trying to make to sell for $1,500. So, yeah. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let me throw this thing back here. Actually.
Does it have a maple top or is it all mahogany?
It's all mahogany and it does not have a top on it.
Do you know the name of that color that you had?
It's some kind of gold, but I can't remember what the color is. Hang on, I'm just converting us back to normal.
Is the headstock angle less than a Les Paul?
Nope, it's the same.
Does it neck dive?
Nope. Cool. So now we're kind of back to normal.
Except we're still on the wrong side.
Except we're still on the wrong side.
Why are you even over there?
I don't know. Well, that was fun. I didn't, so normally we wouldn't do that, but that guitar came at literally like an hour before the live stream tonight, and I didn't want to put it off, you know, didn't want to put it off, so, sorry, hang on. Since we're going back to our normally scheduled program, I'm trying to get my settings all back to how they should be. All right, cool. Well, I tell you what, Gold Mist, is that what it's called? I don't even know.
Somebody else said champagne gold, so I don't know.
No, there's official colors for it. We'll figure it out. I guess what we should do now is get into our Patreon questions. I figured because I put that on the thumbnail that I wanted to do that right away. Because a lot of people are going to want to be seeing that thing. Because it's pretty neat.
Jose Zamora says, Leslie reading the cliche questions is just perfect.
I mean, it's true because everyone asks the same questions.
AB wants to know, is your wife your best? I don't know what that means.
She is the best wife that I have ever had. That is no
The
lie.
best wife you currently have.
And the best wife I currently have. Let's see, that is called Gold Mist Satin. They have Cardinal Red Satin, Rose Gold Satin, Inverness Green Satin, and TV Wheat, which is like eggshell. It's like if you live in Illinois, you buy that color. It's eggshell white. Yeah. So, yeah. Really cool, man. This guitar is cool. Oh, and while we're here, let's talk about the pickups, because I don't remember what. 490 and 498s. So that's pretty common for your less than normal standard pickups. That would make sense. So yeah. Cool. I really like that thing.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do our Patreon questions. You can go to patreon.com and you can ask questions ahead of time, and we'll make sure that we feature them on the screen. There's only a few, so.
Charles. Hello, Dylan and Leslie. Thank you for all the time you share with the community. One of the most enjoyable times of the week.
Thanks, man. I
wonder
appreciate
what
that,
else
Charles.
is enjoyable during the week. What are we in competition with for Charles?
Good question.
Just kidding.
I don't know.
Ivan. Pickups aren't magic, they are math. Jeff Kiesel, according to Phil McKnight.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question. We did talk about that a couple weeks ago. There is a lot of math in there. There really is. But you know, I was playing a guitar today, and I put new pickups in it. It's these special edition pickups that you're going to hear about next week, or if you are on Patreon, you'll hear about it they're over there right now. And I was playing those, and I was like, you know, these are really good. And I was thinking about it because I'll put them in my Les Paul, which already has great pickups in it. But there are just so many different flavors of everything that's what really makes this fun. So yeah, it is math to figure it out, but it sure is a feeling when you go and play it and go, you know, this is really fun. So maybe there is some magic in there too.
Rob F. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. The Les Paul arrived yesterday evening.
Excellent.
Dylan, I can't thank you enough. The guitar plays and sounds wonderful. The pickups are exactly what I had hoped for. The question is for our DTT community friends. Despite Dylan's feelings on the matter, do you all think I should flip the Les Paul's neck pickup to match Peter Green's guitar? All right, that's for all of you.
That's for you. That's not for me. The only reason I don't really care. I think it's kind of neat, actually, because everybody makes a big deal about which way they're supposed to face. So maybe I would run one backwards on purpose just to make you look. It doesn't make any difference in the sound. Any appreciable difference. The only reason I brought up the backwards pickup is because I think people think that is how you change phase on a pickup, is flip it backwards. And that the reason I left it the other way is because I wanted people to understand that that's not how you do it. It was more of to dispel a myth than it was like a preference. But I would personally rather have them straight the normal way. But it's not my guitar. You could do whatever you want. And he apparently is looking for input from all of you.
Rusty Shackelford says, do what you want, Rob. Dylan once told me something I wanted to do would look stupid. I didn't care.
Exactly. Yep.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Cool. Do you have a topic or...
No, we have more questions, right?
No?
No, that's it? All right, well, let's just get some questions out of these here comments then.
All right.
Yeah, let's roll, man.
David Gordon, question: is there a reason why you don't make an unpotted Alnico 2 humbucker?
I will, if you order our Thruxton pickups, they are Alnico 2s. I will make them unpotted. If you put a note on the order and tell me not to, we will do that for you. We do that kind of stuff all the time. Little tweaks like that.
Rusty Shackelford, you said PRS doesn't send you stuff because of what you say, but you were glowing about the one they sent. Were they really mad about modifying it or suggesting modifying it?
I don't know the answer to that question because I haven't heard from them since. Probably. But I also haven't really bugged them for a guitar either. I've bought 2 since then. So, I don't know. She's great, though. The gal there is amazing. So I probably should hit her up and see what's going on.
Shane Walton, which hard cases do you prefer, Fender or Gibson?
Gibson for sure. Fender cases, the guitar moves around in them too much. I do not use my Fender cases, and I do use my Gibson cases. Actually, both of my Gibson cases are sitting right here because I actually do. The guitars come in and out of those cases a lot. My Fender cases do not. I have a wedge kind of thermometer case for one of my tellies, and I have most of the time I use either a mono bag. Well, I use a mono bag most of the time. I am not a hard shell case fanatic. I do not like them because they take up too much room. We have so many guitars in a small area that I would actually rather not have cases for my guitars if I can help it, and I put them on hangers. And then I just case them up when we leave and go somewhere, like if I want to take them out to somewhere. But right now, my spare bathtub is completely full of cases and guitar boxes. We can't even, you couldn't use it. When we have company, I have to actually take it and put it in the van. So, yeah, it's neither would be my answer. But Les Pauls, I think, do better. Gibsons do better in their Gibson cases than other types.
Casey Lee, I have a 96 Carvin DC 135 HSS. When I go from humbucker to single coil, the drop off is crazy dramatic. Is there a fix or am I stuck using a boost or volume pedal?
That's a pickup match thing. Before you start doing a bunch of wacky stuff, play with pickup heights. An eighth of an inch could make a big difference. Yeah, like I was telling you earlier, I put a set of humbuckers in my Les Paul today, and I was like, what is wrong with this bridge pickup? And I went like this on the adjustment screws, and it fixed everything. So play around with lowering your bridge pickup, raising your other pickups first. See if you can get some more balance out of them that way, because this much can make a big difference. I would do that first. If you cannot get them to perform the way you want, let me know, because we have some really good single hum sets that work really well.
Did you check YouTube for comments
I did.
today?
I did, and he asked me about something that's supposed to happen next week, and so I will talk about that then.
Okay. There we go. That was a good enough answer.
Yep.
Thrash Dad 74. How come you keep buying guitars and not your wife some new jeans?
Because she buys her own jeans.
The comment section took care of that. It was actually really funny.
What did they say?
That's what they said. She buys her own jeans. Because we've talked about this before. Somebody said she buys her own jeans. Somebody said it was because I was a shredder.
Duh.
Brian Carpenter. Technologically, is there anything to the covered versus uncovered pickup debate?
We have a video on that. Technically, if you really want to split hairs, there is. It has to do with the horizontal, the surface, the metallic surface that's perpendicular to the pole pieces. and something called eddy currents, which is basically sort of a magnetic interference that happens in the inductance of the pickup when you have such a situation. There's ways to mitigate that by putting tape in there, by breaking up the surface somehow, which is what we do, to retain clarity with covers. The other thing is that certain materials are better and worse at this. So brass is the worst when it comes to the most amount of eddy currents that it introduces, and nickel is the best. And so this is one of the things that cheap pickups do. They will use brass base plates and they will use brass covers that are chrome plated. We do not. We use nickel. We use plated nickel so that we have less of that problem. So technically it is, but I think many people overblow the amount that it actually makes a difference.
Van Shank guitars. My CM is 34 millimeters thick. How thick is that Les Paul?
I will measure it. I don't know. I'd have to go in the living room and get it again. So
you're just going to do that in the
Yeah, I'm going to do it in the video. Yeah, I'm going to make sure we measure it when we do the video.
Phil Secura? I've never even thought about how to say Phil's name. I just see him as JP Ma because that's what he always says. Sorry about that, Phil. He says, in your humbucker lineup, which are closest to the 490, 498 ones?
Probably our Super 8s.
It's Victoria G. I love the idea of weight-relieved Les Paul moderns, but none of the colors speak to me.
I get that.
Sir Sneaker Pimp, did you get the JHS Nauticlon? Mine will arrive in January. I missed the first batch.
I did not. I was thinking about that. I didn't even know about it until one of my friends texted. Jason Sabo texted me.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I bought one of these and Will bought one of these. And I was like, what the heck? And then I turned on YouTube for the first time yesterday at like later in the evening. I hadn't watched YouTube all day. And of course it's release day. And so every video and all the IKEA jokes and everything, like it was great. I think genius. Genius marketing. And having his kids, his boy and I guess one of the people that works for him, girl, build one was great. The whole thing was genius. That was really well done.
Rick Nelson, thank you for the super chat, Rick. He says, tonight I'm trying to learn about my Duncan Invaders, but neck pickup has a cap in series with south coil, making LCR readings come out goofy. Any ideas?
Yeah, so to do that, you'll have to unhook that pickup from that cap because that will goof with it.
That's a very, very specific question.
Yep.
In action. He's like,
That's
wait,
why
I'm going
is he?
to ask it right now.
I love it. I hear people like that all the time. I'm watching a video working on a guitar. I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah. Curtis Chavez says, mono cases are pretty expensive. Are they worth it versus a quality, cheaper gig bag? Thanks.
Yep. They're worth every penny. This is one of those things. It's like underwear. Only it's not, because we're talking about something that costs more. If your guitar's $3,000, why are you going to put it in a $100 case? I mean, you know, so there is that. So let's say you're playing, I don't know, what do we got around here? These ones are all expensive. So let's say you have, a $1,000 guitar, an $800 guitar, a $500 guitar. It's all about risk analysis, a risk aversion. Isn't that what they call that? Where the mono case is way better, but it's like $300, right? Is it worth it to you to not break your guitar and to protect your guitar properly? then spend the $300 and get the good case. If it is a cheap guitar and you don't care, then get a cheaper one. My second best choice to that would be the Gator Transit. I really like that bag a lot, and it's $100, $110. And I would put everything I own in a Gator Transit except for a Gibson, only because of the peg head angle. Because anything with a peg head angle, the mono has a block in the neck thing, and it holds it better. But any straight neck guitar, like any Fender style anything, I'd probably put in a Gator Transit just fine.
And you choose, it's Victoria G says mono cases over Carlton or BAM cases.
I mean, Carltons are amazing, but they're expensive. They're like way more than $300. I think they're like $8.
Diavoros. Hey Dylan, a question. Why are the P90 mounting screws placed at the center? It ruins the aesthetic of the pickup, and pretty sure they could be at the borders without having dog ears.
That had to do with how the original guitars were built and the routes that they had, and adapting the P90 from the hollow body guitar to the solid body guitar. If you go and watch, which is a fantastic video, if you go and watch the Andertons tour of the custom shop, there is and I picked up on this immediately, there is it's not very long, but a little segment where he's holding up like a 53, 55, 56, something pre-humbucker Les Paul, and he was explaining how those old neck tenons and the way that pickup route is different, and they're shallower. So it was all done way different back then. And so it doesn't really apply today, but then the design was standardized, and then now that's what we have. Great video. If anybody watches that video, well, I don't want to sound accusatory, but let me just say, you need to go watch that video with an open mind, because if you understand how guitars are made, and then you go and watch the tour of the Gibson Custom Shop, you understand why those guitars cost what they cost. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's Victoria G. I enjoyed the Steve Sirlacci video you shared. Think it might be related to companies trying to be lifestyle brands. If it's just a tool, no reason to see different opinions as an attack.
So Steve Sirlacci did a really good video about, I think he was just feeling some YouTube burnout maybe. Mm-hmm. And it was like, why are people mean in the comments? This is music. This should be fun. It's what I preach all the time too. And I don't think it's the lifestyle brand thing. I think it's the fact that music is so deeply personal to so many people. And you identify with a particular decade so when I say I don't like the Allman Brothers, or I'm tired of the Allman Brothers, somebody gets offended not because I don't care about the Allman Brothers, or I would skip one of their songs when it came on the radio, or I'm really tired of hearing Melissa in bars. People don't get offended at that because I don't like that song. It's because all of a sudden they think like time warp back to their high school and how important that song was to them because they had a girlfriend named that, and then all of a sudden it feels personal to them, which it makes sense because music is deeply personal to people. Which then that gets attached to the tools, I think. You know? And also, I think people have just been marketed so heavily on all these tone myths that they become a belief system that, like, this is why. You know, Like, for example, me saying that I needed to raise the tailpiece on that Les Paul just a few minutes ago. Somebody would be like, oh, that's totally going to kill the sustain, bro. Well, it won't. But because people believe that so strongly, then it's like I'm attacking what they believe by saying I'm going to raise that and it's going to be fine. You know, even though, so it's just kind of I get it. I mean, I get it. I'm trying to be more, I don't know what the right word is. I guess nicer about that. Because, you know, people are going to believe what they want to believe. It's not about changing anybody's minds. I just try to put out the science and the facts around it and let you decide whether you want to believe the BS or not.
Shark Air, the DAF pickup sounds great. Perhaps you could do a video on them.
Just you wait.
Yep. Oh, let's wait on their questions for after. Yep.
Okay.
Rusty Shackelford, could stainless steel be used for pickup covers? Hate the tarnish on nickel.
Use chrome. Use chrome then. Chrome is very hard, and it stands up to tarnishing very, very, very well. What's interesting is chrome is actually a clear coating that goes over nickel. That's what makes it shiny. I learned that from my guy that owns chrome plating company. He taught me all about chrome, how it works. It's pretty neat. He actually does the ones for Gibson. Actually, if you take the tailpiece off of my Les Paul.
You have to be interrupted. Rick Nelson, thank you for the super chat, Rick. Follow up. Cap is wired within the pickup structure. I'm screwed, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I didn't know that about those. Duncan Invaders. I didn't know it had a cap in them. I was not aware of that. Sorry, I can't help you more. Yeah, if you take the tailpiece off of my Les Paul and flip it over, it says advanced plating on the bottom.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Danny Sartain, when are you going to do double whites or double cream DAF?
We are not going to do... We can do double whites. I'll do double whites for you. You just have to request it. Order a set. Tell me you want them in double whites. Send me a note. Send me an email. I'll make them in double white, but we will not make them in double cream. Because I respect trademark law. And I respect branding. I respect it. And I will not mess with that.
Curtis Chavez, do metal covers on humbuckers make them more susceptible to squealing or feedback?
If they are not wax potted or if they are attached incorrectly, you can get that, yeah. But you can mitigate it.
Sir Sneaker Pimp says the neck tech on the Anderton video was a great player when he demonstrated the neck.
Oh, yeah.
And Vinny's World said, and I love how Lee just blurts out other brands in front of Gibson staff, LOL.
Oh, I know. It was good. He talked over him a lot, but I learned a lot. It was really good. I didn't watch the full factory tour. I just watched the custom shop tour. But, man, I was really, really impressed with what they do. And they didn't even show you the hard part, you know.
Van Shank Guitar says, just call it antique white like Gibson did.
Right?
Patrick Hardy, Dylan, are you thinking about looking at the new PRS SE Swamp Ash guitar? Something with the middle pickup.
Probably not.
Doc Siltonen, would double screw bobbins in double cream violate Larry's patents?
I think it still would because he has those as well.
Leaf Larson. I recently bought a PRS 10th anniversary McCarty S2. My favorite guitar I've ever played. What are your thoughts on the 5815 LT pickups?
They are good. They sound good in that guitar. I have heard them in other guitars that I don't care about really, that I don't really like. But I've heard them. It depends on how you play, I think, and it depends on what you use them for. They're not. There's not enough clarity there for me, and they don't coil split very well in comparison to what we do. But they sound good when a lot of those guitars, the PRS stuff and 5815s in general, specifically, sound good when other people play them. Like if I listen to Will play one, I'm like, man, that thing sounds good. Because I got a buddy that's big PRS fan, and he's got those, and he sounds amazing every time he plays it, but I don't like him.
Lee Asbury said, "Is this live?" Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
He always asks that.
Oh, does he? Mm-hmm. I just saw something I was going to say, and I don't know where it went. Oh, Rick Nelson said just the neck pickup has that cap in it.
Huh. I have never heard of that.
Silver Bushman, how do you feel about split blade pickups?
I think they're really neat. I don't have any interest in making them. I think that they have a unique sound. They are not a traditional sound. I'm not... I think they're cool. Fralin does those, and they sound great. But I don't have. They don't blow my hair back personally. But I think they're cool, and I think the idea is neat.
Lefty J, the main tone knob on my Squier Jaguar also turns off the volume when at 0, despite it being a cool kill switch option. How would this be fixed?
Is it 50s wiring? Maybe? That might be.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're like literally waiting on comments. Questions, whatever.
Really? We have 134 people here, and we're waiting on comments. Yeah, get your questions in, man.
Weird. Then they're
It
going
is
to
weird.
pour in and we're going to run out of time.
I know, right?
Maybe not.
I'm really excited about Monday. This video coming out, I actually shot it today and threw it away. I didn't like it, so.
Do you have to do it again?
Well, I need to tell a story. You know?
No, I don't know, but okay.
I mean, you've been living it with me, so.
Your story?
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think people are really going to dig what we're doing here with this thing on Monday. I'm really proud of it. We did ship a bunch of stuff today. We are making more P90s, big surprise. And I'm fairly certain that we're going to have more P90s on Phil's show. So that's going to make us go crazy again. So that'll be cool.
All right. I don't know what that... IBJI says, shouldn't there have been more greenies if all it takes is to reverse the bar magnet? Did they always check as they made them?
So there's a bunch of... I don't know the whole story with that. Every time I say something about that, somebody gets in the comments and corrects me like, you're wrong, that's not how this happened. Instead of just respectfully telling me what happened. I don't know did somebody break that guitar and when it got put back together or when it got serviced, the magnet was in backwards. And then did Peter Green actually flip the pickup around himself? I don't know. But that guitar, he used that tone to legendary status in that middle position. Because, it only works in the middle position. The rest, when it's in neck and in bridge, it's just a regular Les Paul. Well, a regular 59, really expensive Les Paul. But, so I don't know. It sounds cool. It's a really cool sound. And I forgot how much I liked it with a humbucker. I hate it with single coils. Like if you play a Strat out of phase, I don't like that at all. But if you play two humbuckers out of phase, it's really cool. Two P90s out of phase is pretty good too. Yep.
You ready now?
Mm-hmm.
We're caught up. I mean, they're sending
Cool.
them in.
Excellent.
Let's see. I really don't know what this is. Diavoros. Is it possible to make a legit wide range humbucker that splits to sound like Jazzmaster? I've been thinking about that.
Not really, because the dimension of the coil is so much different. So a Jazzmaster is actually, the coil is only an eighth of an inch tall. It's really, really short. So, well, maybe it's a quarter. No, it's an eighth. It's really, really, really short. So, and that's what the sound comes from, is the dimension of the coil. So, yeah, I don't think so.
Doc Siltonen, do you worry about the necks moving on the guitars that are leaned against the wall?
No.
Tom Feidler, on your pre-wired tele sets, can they be made with a coil split switch?
Yes. Yes. I will have to send you a custom invoice for that, though. So just send me a chat on the website and tell me what you want, and I will send you a custom invoice for that.
Rob F. Dillon, are the DAFs you made for my Les Paul unpotted?
They are not. They are potted.
Sean McMillan, the Strat is phenomenal, almost immaculate. Will we be having the Patreon meet Monday?
Is that this Monday?
I don't think so. Is
It
it?
is this Monday.
I thought, is it the 3rd or the 4th?
4th.
4th is not this Monday.
The 4th is not this Monday.
The 4th is Monday the 27th.
We discussed this already.
I thought we did.
Yes. Monday the 27th. I have to have the other side of my mouth done at the periodontist on Monday. So Monday it's going to
Nothing
be
to do with it anyway.
sketchy for me. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the whole conversation we're having was, oh crap, is your mouth going to work on Monday night if we have that? And we're like, oh wait, no, it's actually next week.
Silver Bushman, best pickups for blues tones.
Something super low output. Our DAF pickups are really very vintage spec. And that's what I would recommend for those is our DAF pickups. Yep.
Curtis Chavez, have you heard the Fishman P90s yet? If so, what did you think about them?
I think they're cool, and I love that technology. I think they do not... There is something about a vintage spec A5 P90 that we make, not necessarily everybody else, but that we make, and probably Lawler's too, that is just extra. It's just better. And then the other variations on the P90 design kind of sterilize the sound for me. So it's not like they're bad, because they're very cool and they sound great. But what we do is just, they're just a little extra. There's something about them. It's the snarl that they have.
Extra.
I mean, yeah. It's the snarl that they have. They just, I don't know, man. When you play that Junior, or that one, I got two of them, it's like punk rock all the way. I don't know. There's something about it that I just don't get with some of those kind of alternative designs. So either noiseless stuff or the like sideways ones, sidewinder things, or the or those. But those I think are actually better than, they're definitely better than anything noiseless I've ever heard, but not as good as these.
Sorry, that's Bryson. All right. Sunbase. What's your take on pickups with individual coils for each string? Something similar to the old Ovation Magnum bass neck pickups. Any reason why this design never became more popular?
Because it's very expensive to make. Who did it? The diagonal guy from New York. Z Coil. Yeah. No, Zex Coil.
Zex, yeah.
Zex Coil.
I knew it started with a Z.
Yeah. Zex Coil. They did it. But it's a very complex design. They're not cheap. I would never make them because you wouldn't want to buy them by the time I charged what I had to charge for them.
Sir Sneaker Pimp says, I think you're the hardest working man on YouTube. You make fantastic pickups, make videos, travel to showcase your wares. Then you spend 2 hours a week with us. When do you have time for Leslie?
We make sure that happens. Every morning. We have coffee together every morning. First of all. Zex Coil. Do they even make them anymore?
Mm-hmm. Curtis Chavez, I have a pick guard with a bridge humbucker cutout. Is there a good way to put a P90 in that pick guard instead without it looking wonky?
What does he have? A pick guard with a bridge humbucker. You'll have to get a different pick guard, which is cheap enough. I want to know how much these things are.
Do they still make them?
They are $140 a piece. There's no way they're making those in the United States for this. Where are they made? It does not say made in the USA anywhere. I don't know where they're made. But I cannot imagine that for $140 they would be making these in the United States. Is he coming over?
He was asking if we were still up, but I don't even know when he sent that. He sent it at 8:30, so I missed it because I have my...
Yeah, just tell him. He's trying to come over and get that stuff and drop some stuff off probably. Cool.
We're caught up.
Wow.
But we only have 2 minutes, so
Okay.
don't send a bunch of questions in, y'all.
Yeah, 2 or 3 more minutes. 2 more minutes, and
2-minute warning.
then we're gonna go off topic.
I have some stuff there.
Do you?
That's what's waiting, yeah.
Everybody's waiting around for off topic hour. They're like, okay, enough of this guitar stuff.
Maybe. I don't know.
People really do like the off topic stuff. Tell you what. Let's just go on the off topic stuff and we'll take a couple more guitar questions if they come in. So here's how this works. After 9 o'clock, we go off topic. After 9 o'clock, you are not allowed to ask any guitar questions unless they're in a super chat. If you ask a guitar question, it's not in a super chat, we will not answer it until next week. You have to come back.
1 more minute. Can P90s mount to a pick guard?
They can, I think StewMac has like a little strap thing that goes on the bottom and it screws into the bottom and then it like has 2 little tabs on the back, on the sides of it. Or maybe you can find some on Amazon. It's like it almost looks like pipe strap, you know, because it'll have a bunch of holes in it because of the screws. So you know what pipe strap looks like, where you're like trying to like nail down conduit or whatever. It kind of looks like that. So it's like a little thin strip and it screws into the bottom with the mounting screws, you know, your normal mounting screws. It would screw into the bottom like this. And then it would have these two little tabs that stick out the side that then you could use like normal Stratocaster kind of springs and screws on the side. And I want to say StewMac has them. Link in the description. If they don't, then maybe check on Amazon. I have seen them.
Cool. It's officially 9 o'clock now.
It's officially 9 o'clock. After hours. Off-topic questions only. You can ask any question you want, and we'll probably answer it. As
Cool.
long as it's not about guitar stuff.
All right. I had off topic over here from
Dawn?
Doc. Off topic. Are you planning on watching the Las Vegas GP live or waiting for the highlights the next morning? We just had a whole conversation about that this morning.
We did. So this is a weird deal, right? So practice 1 starts at 11:30 tonight, and it goes from 11:30 to 12:30, and I will stay up for that. If I fall asleep halfway through, I don't know. It's going to be the coldest. It could be the coldest F1 race ever in history. So the tires are going to be cold. The asphalt is new. It's a new track nobody's ever raced on before. I mean, I've driven on this track more than they have. Ridden, because we didn't drive. We were in a bus. Yeah, we've actually ridden on more of the F1 track than the F1 racers have. Because we were there a couple weeks ago, and it was already down. But yes, I think I am going, because it is so crazy that this is even happening. And you said that it's possibly going to be the biggest...
I think it is already supposed to be the biggest.
The biggest event Formula One has
sport,
ever
yeah.
had in the sport's history. So for those reasons, I probably will stay up and watch it live. Yep.
All right.
3 a.m.
Wild. Doc Silton said, gonna be slick as deer guts on a doorknob.
Oh my gosh. Mr.
That is a
Mr.
saying
I'm from Canada.
I've never heard before.
That's because you're not from Canada. It's probably something they say up there.
Deer
No idea. I've never heard it.
Deer guts on a doorknob.
I have spent a fair amount of time in Canada, and I've never heard that either.
All right. Yep. Did you guys manage to sell the RV?
No, we still have it.
Negative.
Yeah,
I think we gave up.
Yeah, we actually
And
drove
we
it.
have plans, and we've gone on a trip. And
Yeah, we've been using it, actually. We drove it today. Well, we drove it today because the UPS shipment was so big that it wouldn't fit in the car. So, yeah.
Yep. Again, anything exceptional to look out for on Black Friday? It's a great question.
That is a great question. We were talking about this.
We didn't follow through with our, we should talk about this, though.
I know. We still could.
Oh, there's time.
There is time. We still could. We want to make a video for our other channel.
Oh, okay, so a more important question.
Uh-huh.
Relevant.
Yep.
Are we going to do this next Thursday? Yes?
I don't know.
I don't know if people would come. We don't have any problems being here.
We can be here, yeah.
We could be here. Are you going to be here? Maybe that's
Yeah.
the question.
I guess we should put a survey up on YouTube and maybe on Instagram and everywhere and see if everybody's going to still be around for...
Or do we skip it? Because I'm not rescheduling it.
No, we're not going to move it to
It's
Friday.
either we're doing it or we're not.
Right. We're not going to do it a different night. For sure. What else you got?
I have a lot because people keep sending stuff in, so I have
Excellent.
to grab them, actually.
This is great.
Charles Wallace was listening as I asked that question earlier, and he said, spending time with his wife and grandbabies are a few things I enjoy more than hanging out with you guys, but there is not many things better than this.
Thanks, Charles. That's awesome.
This is so funny. All right. Justin Haskell says, I'll totally be here.
Excellent.
Only takes one. Charles Wallace said, I'll be here if you are here. That's cool. All right. Well, maybe we'll just do it.
We'll just do it.
It might be a great thing. Maybe everybody will be like, I am so tired of my life right now. I'm going to go watch YouTube.
You know, that's the thing. I mean, what are you going to do after you eat and after you've been all familyed out? You're just going to watch YouTube anyway. That's what I'd do.
Doc is going to be in New York City on Thursday. But if you're going to be here, I will make time to join in. Curtis Chavez said he'll be here with bells on.
All right. Well, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. No, I mean...
We just needed Curtis Chavez with some bells, and we're in.
Now we're in. Yeah. Not one person before, but now that we got Curtis Chavez with some bells, it's totally
about
on.
the bells.
It's all about the bells. No, if 3 people watched it because they wanted to be here. You know the other thing I think about, too?
What?
And this is not to get too, but some people don't have... I think about people that don't have a bunch of family to hang out with on Thanksgiving. I never had all that. I've always been kind of on my own and across the country from my family and everything. So everybody else is having big dinners and whatever. But we don't have that. So we'll just come hang out with you. And maybe that will give somebody else something constructive and fun to smile about when they're sitting at home by themselves. So, positive. Think positive.
All right. Same. Yep. Will 4-wheel steering ever come back?
There's a bunch of fast cars that have it. And all the highest end BMWs and Mercedes have it right now. And they're using it for accident avoidance. So they can make fast, safe lane changes and stuff. And I think it's going to and so does the new Hummer. So I think as self-driving becomes more, I think it might become more. That would be my take. What do you think?
I don't know what that is, so.
4-wheel steering. Like a monster truck.
Oh. That I get. I've never seen it on the street, so. I mean, if it means we have to keep monster trucks, then I'm all for it.
Okay.
So, somebody's got to crush the cars.
Yep.
Ron J says Ford truck versus Chevy.
Toyota. I don't know. This is something I've been giving some thought to, but I don't know.
We haven't driven a new one in a long time.
No, I wouldn't buy a Ranger. I would buy a Colorado over a Ranger any day.
If we had to decide right now,
yeah,
it would be Chevy.
Why?
Because I hate the friggin' Ford ding.
Oh, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo.
I hate it.
Okay, so I guess we're buying a Chevy.
We're not buying a Chevy either, but if we have to choose right now.
The key chime is terrible. It is terrible.
All right. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That's why it doesn't look right.
Sometimes it comes down to the easiest things. The door chime.
I even hate it when you're watching something and somebody opens the door and I'm like, oh my God. Tom Feidler, do you prefer Microtech OFT over Benchmade?
For
OTF probably, right?
Yeah, for OTFs, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, OTF is all about Microtech. Do I even have any other OTFs? I have a couple. We have a bunch of Microtechs, actually. Because you have 2 or 3.
Well, mine's side, though, right? Mine's like...
Well, you have the big pink one, which is the big version of
But I don't have any that aren't Microtech, right?
No.
So we don't own... I guess I actually don't have an opinion then, because I don't know what a Benchmade
out the front is. Yeah. And I only had one Benchmade automatic that I gave it to Brianna. And she has it now, and she loves it. She uses the crap out of it. She brought it over to the other day for me to sharpen, and it was that that black stiletto one. Remember, you never liked the powder coat on it because it felt weird. She uses the crap out of it. It was used. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I'm glad she's using it.
Doc Silton said he has a Colorado ZR2 on order.
Nice.
Raphael B. Hi guys, Vegas GP, grand spectacle or pointless fluff?
I don't think there's anything pointless about it. We were just there and saw all of the setup and all of the things that they're doing to make it pull it off, and it's going to be 10 years of it. I can't remember what they said, the revenue that it was going to bring to the city, but it was billions and billions of dollars. It was really a lot.
Really a lot.
Yeah, it's neat. It's really cool, I think.
Paul McNary says F1, FP1 in 2.5 hours.
Yes, 11:30
it's
Eastern.
Tonight?
Yeah, 11:30
it
Eastern
is
time.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be there, here, watching it.
Sir Sneaker Pimp says, is that your MotoGP toolbox?
No. Actually, I bought that for guitar stuff. I used to have a huge toolbox for motorbike stuff, but I no longer do. That was in my former life. Now it's all full of guitar tools. Well, there's one drawer is completely full of fixed blade knives now. And then the rest of it is all guitar stuff. The top drawer is all camera stuff, you know, fittings and cables and stuff like that for shooting video.
It's Victoria G says, I can't think of trucks without thinking of Chevy, and Bob Seger's Like a Rock. So, marketing wins.
I guess we know what commercials
This
you
is
saw.
Ford commissioned Brian May to write Driven by You as a response and still couldn't compete. That is true. That was a catchy little thing.
There are two American car companies that have never filed bankruptcy.
I already know what they are, so.
Ford and Tesla. So if that kind of thing is important to you.
It's Victoria G. Speaking of Canada, my friend from Canada taught me that in Saskatchewan, they call hoodies bunny hugs. That's so cute.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. Tom Feidler, off topic, what blade are you playing with now?
This is my first one. This is actually my first Microtech I ever got. I got this in Colorado Springs. It is a Microtech UTX 85. And, yeah, I like it. I don't like M390 steel. M390 steel is really hard to sharpen. And the other day, I just got a wild hair, and I was like, there's a few knives that just don't have good edges. Just drive me nuts. And this was one of them. So last night,
Maybe you've improved your skills enough to do it, huh?
Yeah, last night I finally, I've had this knife for 2 years, and I finally got an edge on
Doug
it.
Stilton said, not bankrupt yet.
Yeah, not bankrupt yet.
Timothy Potter, as much as you have traveled, how often did you get caught in crash or construction traffic snafus?
Never until 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, or whenever that was.
Not until the last trip.
Last
time we went to Denver.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 10 years, and we've never really gotten stuck in anything.
That was the first time. And we had to just pause and be like, okay, we can't get aggravated.
Yeah, this is just part of it.
Plus, it was a 24-hour drive. And, like, what's an hour and a half in 24 hours?
Yeah.
It's not like...
But it happened, like, 3 times.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was crazy on the way to Colorado.
And a lot of one-lane interstate for long, long ways.
Yeah. Which, what I'm glad about with that is, because we were in the van, and... when you have one lane interstate for miles and miles and miles, and you're in a 38-foot coach and you're pulling a Jeep and you're as wide as like it's like gets on your shoulders after a while, just, keeping it between the lines when you're that big. So the van it's just nice because you're just driving and it's way more relaxing.
Curtis Chavez, largest fixed blade for daily carry.
Probably Let's see.
It's like, let's measure.
Well, I've got 2, 3, 4. So this is my half-face blades Cav Junior or Crow Junior, and this is a little too big to carry. I think this is 9 inches long. This is my Montana Knife Company ultralight. This thing only weighs like 2 ounces, and I really, really, really like this knife. And it's right at the limit for me. So I don't know what this is. This is probably 7.5 inches. The sweet spot for me. So I have another. This is a what is this thing? Bradford Guardian 3.2, and I really like this knife a lot. This knife will go all the way in a pocket of a jeans almost, and barely stick out the top. So I really like this knife. And this is Magna Cut too. It's like super cool. But the knife of choice for me that I carry all the time, this knife is in my pocket a lot. And this is a 3.5 inch blade, I think, or 3.25. And this knife is 7 inches long. This is a Winkler Standard Duty 1. This is made by the guy that made all of the knives for the axes and sharpware for the Last of the Mohicans. That's how he kind of got famous. He's been making knives for years and years and years, but that's what really put him on the map. And he makes tomahawks for Navy SEALs and stuff. So this is actually like a battle knife, but this is 80 CRV2 steel, carbon steel, so it's not stainless. And this is the knife that I use in my pocket the most. I love this knife for fixed blade. And I will actually carry this in addition to my if this is the knife that you can stick in stuff. This is the knife that you can if I needed to, I would open a can with it. Because you can put an edge on it so fast and so easy that if you screw it up, you just fix it. It's just so good. I love this knife. It's something I learned too. All those fancy steels are really cool, but good old carbon steel is so easy to sharpen that sometimes it's better to just have something that you can fix super easy, and then you're not afraid to use it for crappy stuff, No, I love this stuff. I could talk about knives all night. So.
Matthew Altamere, how do you deal with so much social media trying to take up your time? I swore off Instagram as it was a waste of time and am just focusing on my hobby stuff now.
How do you do it?
I don't do it. I don't have a problem anymore because I don't have a business.
Yeah. We did a couple things this year. I go through cycles of it. This is a really interesting question, actually, that I was thinking about when I was watching Steve's video yesterday. You'll notice it sometimes. You'll be like, did you get a bump in viewer numbers? Or we'll put out a video like what we put out last week where it gets 10,000 views in 7 hours or whatever, something really hot. And it'll bring in a whole bunch of new audience that isn't familiar. You all are the community. So however many people we have here, we have 84 people here. The people that are here for Off Topic Hour, you guys are like the OGs, right? You're the ones that really love everything we do, and you're here. You're our people. So I don't have to worry about you. So I don't stress about you. I don't think about it. But it's the new audience that comes in who is not familiar with the fact that we don't really talk crap about brands. We're not super negative, on this channel. And even in the comments, we're not. But the people that are not familiar with that, they're the ones that are kind of the pains. So every time we go through a growth cycle, we get a little bit of that until they figure out that, we're pretty cool and, easy to get along with and stuff. So it goes in cycles like that. What we did this year is, well, first of all, we have this. Thursday nights is where we interact for real. We also have the Patreon thing. I do not answer. Now, I should say this. About once a week, I will scan through my Facebook Messenger, my Instagram Messenger, all that stuff, and see if there's anything relevant in there. But I, most of the time, will not answer those messages. Because usually it's somebody like, I have a 1975 whatever, and it has scratchy pots. How can I clean them? We're not that kind of tech support. You know what I mean? And if they have those kind of questions, that's what Thursday nights are for. We try to direct everybody to Thursday nights. So we centralize our social media interaction to a couple of times a week, and we dedicate, somebody said earlier, you spend 2.5 hours with us every Thursday. Yes. So that I don't have to spend, it's not so that I don't have to, but because we do this, we don't spend hours a day answering messages because we have this time with you. The other thing we did was we put a chat on the website. And what I found is if you have to put a chat on the website to ask me a question about a product, you are more likely to ask a real question than ask I don't want to say dumb question, but a question that's not really connected to anything. So most of the interaction that we have with people now is either here or people that want to buy products. The rest of the time, it's just hanging out with my friends. And the Facebook thing, I had to make a video about it on Facebook the other day. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. I have a sense of humor, and I like stuff. So if you don't like my sense of humor, you're just going to have to scroll on because I ain't going to stop being me. But Facebook is really the only thing that gives me trouble every once in a while.
El Deuterino. Favorite year, Chevelle? I think 1970.
66.
That's what Deuterino thought 1970. I have no clue.
66.
Sir Sneaker Pimp says, I have a new band for you two to listen to. Hermanos Gutierrez, if you don't already know about them already.
I will
if you
put
don't
it in
know
right
about them
now.
already. Sean McMillan, is there a must-have food or dish for your tea day menu? Also, if you stream next Thursday, I will check in.
Will we have anything in particular? Probably not. We are not very we have to have this meal on this particular day kind of people.
I'm in the mood for this random thing and I'm going to have it.
Right now. Yeah.
That's why we're horrible planners.
Yeah. Yep. And, I don't like to keep bringing this up, but I'm Native American, so I'm not really into Thanksgiving. I mean, to be honest.
Matthew Altamere said no love for Dodge. I mean, the question was Ford or Chevy.
The question was Ford or Chevy. If I was going to get a diesel, I would get a Dodge. Every Chrysler product we have ever owned was just... It's like they...
Right now.
We do own one right now. But even that one is like a motor and a drivetrain put into a Rubbermaid. It's like everything is so...
It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. The reason our van is the way... It's a Ram ProMaster. But it's a really nice because it's a motorhome. But the van itself isn't that great. I'm just not a Chrysler build quality person.
I have no idea what this means, but they sent it as a question.
Okay.
Curtis Chavez says, why would Mirror, Mirror on the Wall ever pick Rachel Zegler over Gal Gadot?
I don't know what that...
I have zero clue what that means.
I mean, I know who Gal Gadot is, but she's Wonder Woman.
So who's Rachel Zegler?
I don't know. And I don't know the significance of that question.
Fox Guitars Rock says, I must be weird. I just stick with my USMC K-bar, K-A bar.
That's a big knife, man. That's a big knife. I want one. I don't have one of those. That's a weird thing to say, but I don't have one.
Doc Silton said, how come you don't have a kukri or a tomahawk?
I don't. Okay, so most things that I own, and this goes across the board, most things that I own, I do not have for looks, and I actually use them. So most of the knives, the firearms, everything that I have, even guitars, everything, I use it all. So I'll look at a knife and I'll be like, do I want to buy that? And I'm like, I actually wouldn't really use that. So I don't get one. Kukri falls in that for me. I don't need to chop anything. I don't need to chop coconuts. I don't need to do any of that kind of stuff. As far as the tomahawk goes, that is a different... I want a tomahawk. I want 2 tomahawks. I want a Winkler tomahawk with the spike on the front of it. And I want a half-face blades tomahawk as well. But that's $1,700 between those 2 tomahawks. So I have not... And that's something I wouldn't use. So I haven't gotten there yet. I want a katana before I want either of those 2 things.
Charles Wallace says, Ram Truck is the only one to make car and driver list this year. Just food for thought. And Fox Guitars Rock said, my wife drives a Ram pickup. It's like a F1 race car compared to my Ford. Seriously. Tom Feidler, off topic. Have you seen Greg Covington knives? He's got some nice, simple SOG style blades.
I've heard of them, but I have not seen them. I've heard the name.
Fox Guitars Rock wants to know if Leslie got her raise.
She did.
What did she get? Oh. Where did it go?
I don't know. You spin it already.
I doubt that. Let's see. Oh, wait. El Deuterino, do you have any ninja swords?
So we're just discussing katanas. I really want a proper katana. But again, that's a very expensive purchase, and it is something that you would not use, that I would not use. It would hang on the wall, but I really, really want one. But, that's $1,200 or $1,400 for one of those, for a good one, so...
Timothy Potter says, I love tomahawks. I usually only want every one I look at.
Yeah, man. I know. They're so cool. They're so cool.
Tom Feidler, SIG P220, West German or USA made?
I don't care. I would rather have a 226. I'd like a 226.
Sir Sneaker Pimp, have you purchased the Japanese cutlery you were looking for? If so, what did you get?
Oh, I got a bunch of stuff. So I found a place in Denver. So I have a petty knife. I have a Nakiri that I just got that I really like. I have a 240 millimeter Gyuto. And I have a Bunka. And they're all amazing. The Petty and the Bunka are carbon core stainless outside. But they're all hammer. I forget what the finish is called when it's like black. When it's like black carbon. It's where they take the ashes, they leave the ashes on them, and when they quench the knife, it stays on it, and it's all black. I can't remember, what do they call that? Anyway, it's that finish. I'll do a video, maybe for the other channel, that will show you all that stuff. It's all on my Instagram, too, at Dylan Talks Tone, because I've been sharing it over there.
The end.
The end. I'm trying to think of what else. I did get a since we talked last, I think. No, I guess last week I had it too. I got a CZ Shadow 2, which is unbelievable. You haven't shot that yet. I'm curious to know what you think of it because it's really heavy. It's like 38 ounces or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the trigger's so good. I mean, Brianna was stacking shots at 10 yards. Like her first magazine, she was just like, this thing is amazing. I love this thing. And I was like, well, let me see what you think of... So I put the big Canic in her hand because the trigger's really good on that too. And she's like, it's not heavy enough. I like this other gun because it's heavier.
Oh,
and I was like, really? She's like, yeah, because it sits in my hand. I don't have to worry. She's so little that I thought she would not. She's like really little. So I would have thought that she would like something lighter with just as good of, not just as good of, but a good trigger. And she's like, nope, I like the weight. And I was like, okay. So.
Doc Silton said he bought his first Benchmade last weekend.
You sent me a picture of it. It's awesome.
Timothy Potter says, what do you use for a sushi knife?
We don't really cut sushi because we don't eat fish. But I mean, I guess you just get a long kiritsuke for that? Like they're long one? I don't know. I would watch a video on Knifeware's website or on Knifeware's YouTube, and then I would decide what to buy. My next purchase, I might buy it this weekend, or maybe tomorrow. My next purchase is going to be a new frying pan.
Do you think they'll have Black Friday sales?
Not on those. Maybe we should wait.
What's another week?
I want a Smithy cast iron pan. We have been using not cast iron and other stuff for a couple of years. Like when we were in the motorhome, it wasn't practical, and so we've been going through pans. Like we use a pan, we'll use it for 6 months. It'll start sticking and be weird, and this one is just now starting to kind of get weird. And I'm like, I want one of those Smithy cast iron pans. And I actually found a Japanese carbon steel wok that is not really, really expensive on the Knifeware website, but I found one on Amazon for even cheaper. Because Knifeware is in Canada, so sometimes you have to mess with their prices.
Tom Feidler, ever try a Hudson H9? If not, you can if you ever come to Florida.
We go to Florida quite often. What's a Hudson H9? I don't even know what that is. Sounds like an HK copy, but I could be wrong. I'm literally going to look this up because I don't even know what it is.
Timothy Potter said, I grew up cooking with well-seasoned cast iron. It's hard to beat. Yeah, we still have our cast iron. And we didn't use it in the motorhome, but we still have it. So all we have to do is freshen it back up.
Oh, we do have one still?
We have both of ours.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I will just re-season them again. Yeah. Yeah, I love cast iron. I love it a lot, but...
Yeah, we have 2 of them.
For some reason, I thought we didn't have them anymore.
No, you didn't let me get rid of them.
Yeah, because they're like lifelong things.
I still have them.
All right, cool.
You can have that project.
Yep.
Brandy just did hers, like salt scrub and re-season and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The thing about those Smithy ones is they are pre-seasoned, but they're polished. So Lodge cast iron is just cast iron. But the Smithy ones, they actually... you can tell they're spun on a lathe. Or, I don't know if they're spun on a lathe. Maybe they're put... because I don't know how you'd spin that on a lathe because it's a pan. So maybe it's an end mill, like an end mill on a CNC machine or on a on an end mill. Like it's like fly cut on an end mill so that and then it's polished. So the inside of the cast iron is really smooth and shiny, which is really neat. They're made in Charleston, like 2.5 hours from here, which is cool.
Doc Silton said he loves his carbon steel wok.
Yeah, I've never had a real one, so I really want one. We were in this store, it's about 20 minutes from here, and they had that Smithy stuff. I'd never seen it before, and they have a whole carbon steel line too, and it's like all hammered carbon steel, but that wok was like $400. I'm like,
and then who did we meet? Who was across the table from me at Texas Toast? What was his name? He has one.
Oh, really?
He cooks. Who was that guy?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. What's the tall guy with the dark hair? Kind of quiet guy.
David Robinson?
No. That drove the white truck.
Oh, Mike Miller.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike has one.
Oh, that's right.
And he cooks.
Mike signed up for the March class.
Oh, really?
He messaged me last night. Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot your name, Mike.
Yeah. No, that's right.
I knew what you look like, and I can picture your Instagram.
It's like a Glock meets
And
a
your
1911. I just found a picture of it. I've never seen one of these before. It is kind of like a Glock meets a 1911. It's interesting. It's weird looking. Well, it's a light on it, but... Yeah, it's weird looking. It's cool. Well, all right.
Coffee Dude says, besides knives, do you collect axes or machetes?
So that there again, that I would love to, and I actually would. I want to have an entire armory. I have a whole. I would love to have. Okay. I want to have all of the major types, not all of.
Sir Sneaker Pimp said he's leaving because he has to take a nap to stay awake for F1.
Nice. Right on. So I would love to have, and I'm working on the firearms front, the various types of pistols. I would like to have a couple of different rifles. I would like to have all of the battle rifles of the world, the major ones. So like AK, so I have an AR, I have a G3. I'd like to get a good AK. I'd like to get at least a Yugo or something. And there's a couple battle rifles that I would like to have. And then on the blade side of it, I would like to have a Japanese sword. I would like to have a British, like Anglo-Saxon sword, like a good one. I would really actually like to have a full suit of armor. And I found one. And I have not bought it yet because we don't have anywhere to put it. So when we have a new house, I want a full suit of armor. I would like to also have some of the English, also Roman axes. I would like to have some Native American stuff, obviously, because I'm Native American. So I'd like to have some of the spears and arrows and blades from the Native American side of things from a couple of different tribes and some tomahawks. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love all of it. I think it's just so neat. I just think the evolution of... And it's not even about what it is. It's not even about the weapon itself or its intention. It's just about how somebody made something. You know, like way back in the beginning, they beat two rocks together to make a tomahawk or an arrowhead, right? Like, I don't have the patience for that. Like, you know, I mean, now but how does this thing work? The engineering that goes into this is crazy. Like, I don't know. I just love the mechanical engineering side of all of it. I think it's so cool. In the design and process.
You Suck says, you're Native American? I thought you were Italian.
Everybody thinks that. Or Mexican.
Yeah, everybody walks
People will walk up to me and just start speaking Spanish because they think I'm...
Timothy Potter says, Dylan, how are you at axe throwing? Some of the most fun that can be had wearing clothes.
we have talked about this because there's a couple places in town, and we've talked about getting some friends together and going to it, but we haven't done it yet. When we get our house, I'm going to put a knife throwing board in the backyard.
Okay, I'm tired.
Okay.
You're like very talkative.
Oh, I mean, I just want to make sure everybody's
You can
cool.
stay if you want.
No, let's do it. We'll jet. I will actually, if
My tea is gone.
oh yeah, if UPS comes tomorrow and brings what I think it's going to bring, we are going to have another live unboxing, and it is going to be historical.
Literally.
It'll be an historical day. That sounds so dumb. And historical, but that's what you're supposed to say.
Why?
I don't know. It's the grammar.
Who says that?
I thought it was. I could be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be. Anyway, yeah. I impulse bought something the other day that I've been looking for a very long time. I've been looking.
That doesn't count as an impulse buy then.
I've been looking
forever.
I've been looking forever for this thing. And then I forget about it and I don't think about it. And then and whatever. And then I saw a meme
Nice.
and was like, oh, let me see if I can find one of those. Sure enough, there it is. Boom. Be here Friday. So, kind of an impulse buy, but not really. I've been wanting one for a while. So, you will see it tomorrow if UPS comes properly and brings me what I want. So, and then there's going to be a very special video on Monday also. Thanks for hanging out. We'll probably see you tomorrow.